All right, welcome back to the Arena Cube. Best of three is the place to be. Pack one, pick one, Soul Ring. No brainer for me here. I do want to look at the rest of this pack and see what we're potentially going to be wheeling, make some decisions about what I think will or won't be open. Channel being in the pack is interesting. It's not the strongest in this version of the cube, but it is definitely a strong card on its own. Path to Exile, very good. Overlord and Quantum Riddler, pretty good. Flame Slash, decent. No fetches, not a lot of good fixing. This is overall a pretty weak pack, I would say, outside of the Soul Ring. So it's definitely the pack you want to open and not the pack you want to have passed to you. The person seeing this pack pick three, pick four, is taking substantially worse cards than the first couple of picks. So we're going to slam a Soul Ring here. For Soul Ring decks, being an aggressive deck that can use the colorless mana really effectively to just kind of blast out on turns two and three is quite effective. Of course, we can go into artifact strategies really easily, or we can just shut up and take double power. Mox Pearl being passed to us ensures that this was a double rare or a double power pack of some form. Mox Pearl isn't the strongest Pearl, or isn't the strongest Mox. That's to say the least. I think Mox Sapphire is definitely the strongest Mox in a vacuum. And then outside of Mox, of course, you take Black Lotus, you take Time Walk over the Mox. Mana Crypt, you probably take over the Mox. I don't know if I would take Ancestral over the Mox, but that's a decision you can definitely discuss. Relevant cards in this pack, we have Sneak Attack and Fable, so both sides of kind of the red decks. I mean, Fable goes in everything, but we've seen Sneak Attack and Channel already go by, so those are kind of two cards that can go together quite nicely. Channeling out for big things or sneaking them in is nice, duplicity of the same cards. And we're just going to stay open here. We have a very powerful start, so I want to maximize what we can do with it. Psychic Frog is the best card in this pack for sure. Flash is good, but not where I want to be when I've already passed Channel and Sneak Attack, because I'm going to be fighting over those cards quite effectively. Teferi is interesting. It goes really well with Mox Pearl and Soul Ring as a way to, kind of pay off for it. We could also take Pinnacle Emissary and just slam dunk our way into artifacts. Hmm. Arid Mesa keeps me the most open for sure. Kind of leaning on Pinnacle Emissary and just kind of slam dunking into artifacts and not looking back off of double power start. It's a great payoff for it. It is obviously not helpful with Pearl, and it doesn't do the best with Soul Ring itself, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna just try and force my way into Artifact. Psychic Frog is actually terrible for our start. Neither of these cards can cast Psychic Frog at all. And Teferi's good, but I think Pinnacle Emissary opens the door to us having the highest potential deck. Days Undoing is a draw seven. It's a really simple draw seven. It just costs three. Um, it does end of the turn, so you can't use it to like then turn around and with Hull Breacher or whatever be the first person to get all the value. I kind of want to take. I could take Underground Sea here as just a really good land. Um, Unmarked Grave for like Reanimator, Chromatic Star, and Pyrite Spellbomb are both artifacts. I don't know. I'm not like the craziest about either of them, and Underground Sea is kind of just the strongest land here by a mile. I'm staying very open. With such a strong start, I'm not too worried about taking a couple picks that just ensure that we're going to be in a good spot. Mystic Confluence and Subtlety are both good. Preordain and Skull Clamp are both good. Skull Clamp Pinnacle Emissary is actually kind of nuts. Make a bunch of 1/1s and then be able to sack them away. It's another artifact as well, which keeps us colorless. Not the most excited to be passing Subtlety and Mystic and Preordain, but I just can't be in all of those things at once, so taking one of them doesn't really change the math of this pack. But Skull Clamp keeps us really open and is really good with all this colorless stuff. Crucible for the lands deck. Elspeth is really good with Soul Ring and Pearl and Skull Clamp, honestly. It's quite the card to ramp out. Vitali for like the cheaty decks, we could kind of ramp into it. Mirror Battlesphere's fine. It's decent with our start, but it's not really a target I'm the most excited to be, kind of ramping into versus Elspeth goes crazy. And I'm going to take the card that goes crazy. Palantir is decent. I would play it. Ramping into it on turn 2 is pretty nice. It just gets out of hand pretty quickly, but Elspeth gets out of hand really quickly. Wow, this pack is good. Karn, Dark Ritual, Deluge, Candelabra for if we find Academy, Petal to kind of go with our artifact strategy, and a Marsh Flats, which currently already gets blue with Underground Sea and white. Um, Very interesting pack for sure. I think I want to take Karn. With this much acceleration already, Lowest Petal is a little less exciting. Marsh Flats is fine. Dark Ritual's pretty far from what we're doing. I took the Underground Sea as a hedge, remember? And Candelabra is really only relevant if we get exactly Academy, versus Karn is always going to be good in our deck, especially with this much acceleration. So I'm kind of just happy taking the Karn and not really being upset about it. Lion Sash is a great sideboard card. It is an artifact. Kind of just does all the things. But I can also take Starting Town, which is just a really solid land. And I'm gonna take Lion Sash here. It's a really good hater. I mean, even if I don't play on my main board, it's a card that I'm really happy to have in my sideboard. Holy moly, Path to Exile Wheeled? Sign me up. This pack was not good enough for Path to Exile to wheel. I can say that with high confidence. Especially after all 3 lands wheeled and Flame Slash. There's just too many cards that got taken out of this pack over Path to Exile. I can't believe that. Sneak Attack wheels. What? Huh? Someone make that make sense. We passed channel, someone took channel, and then didn't take sneak immediately afterward. I'm not sneaking at all. I can take Otawara or Fresh Start or just Golos. I'm gonna take Otawara. It's a free roll land. Golos is fine. It's okay to go get Tolarian Academy of Golos, but it really wants to be in a deck where you can actually use its ability, which the artifact decks tend not to be very good at doing that. You play a lot of one color because all your stuff's colorless, so you're not really trying to pick up fixing, right? Like, why would I pick up fixing as a high priority when, you know, only 8 or 9 cards in my deck have a color, right? Right now, Elsbeth is a colored card, Pinnacle Emissary, Lion Sash, Soul Ring, or in Path to Exile. All right, this is absurd. Flash Wield. Okay, I'm taking Teferi. We almost took it the first time, and I'm slam dunking it here. Nexus is fine. It's just not really for us. And Teferi is absolutely for us. And I think at this point, I'm very confidently blue-white, maybe splashing for Pinnacle Emissary, or just expecting to only warp it. I'll take Zagoff Triumph. Jace is never making my deck. That's just not what we're doing. Maybe there's a world where I want to be able to play Zagoff Triumph. Verge is absolutely making my deck, a white-blue land. I like Chromos Seed Shark, but it's just not as exciting as it could be for us. Unless we hit Academy, that card is just not really the most enticing. All right, I'm really liking how this is shaping up. I'll absolutely take an Urtai. We already have an Underground Sea potentially and a Zagoff Triumph that could play it. Oh, Candelabra is our last pick. That's so nice because if we open Tolarian Academy, we can just slam it. We didn't open Tolarian Academy, but we did get Mox Sapphire. Ugin is possibly just about as good as Mox Sapphire in our deck, which is insane to say, but Ugin really is that good. And we also have, I think, the infinite combo with the Displacer Kitten. Displacer Kitten plus a Mox and a Soul Ring. You play Soul Ring for 1, tap it for 2 colorless. You play Mox, you blink the Soul Ring, you tap the Mox, and you just get to keep blinking the 2. Uh, Oh no, we have it with. Oh, it's the other Teferi. We don't have the combo. Okay. The other Teferi is the one that you get to bounce a Mox back to your hand. Um, but we're taking Mox Sapphire here, obviously. So we have blue, white Mox. Oh, here's the Teferi that goes infinite. So you blink this Teferi and use it to bounce Mox to your hand and draw a card. And then you replay Mox and blink Teferi. Then Teferi is a new Planeswalker, so you get to use its down ability again to return a Mox to your hand. Draw a card, and then replay the Mox, and blink Teferi. You get to do this as many times as you want to, and every time you get to net a mana of the color of your Mox, because before using Teferi's ability, you can tap it and float the mana. Then, once you have enough mana, you can start blinking other things to your hand, right? By bouncing it and then replaying like Karn, and then play Karn and do things. So we now have win conditions and combos. With Pinnacle Emissary, it also makes like infinite tokens. Ooh, Booster Tutor is very strong, but Ocelot Pride is also very strong, and it goes in our colors. I don't want to be splashing for a Booster Tutor when I can just take a Ocelot Pride and start doubling all these tokens. It's also just a great one-drop. Gives us a little bit early game, goes great with Skull Clamp. Jite, we're not going to have a lot of things that Jite can equip to. Playing more of a control deck. I do need removal and counter magic pretty highly. Lauren Revealed is a great use of our mana in the mid to late game, and also just helps us in the early game. I like it better than Lutri when our only target for Lutri right now is Path to Exile, which is a good target, but it's not as important to us as it could be. Cardseeker Converse fine. We're not all in on artifacts like a Tolarian Academy deck would be. I need something to do with my mana in the late game, and this is definitely something I can do with my mana in the late game. Seachrome Coast is a very whatever card. Ulamog is a win condition off of bouncing cards to our hand over and over again and then casting Ulamog off of our infinite mana. I think Cryptic Command is going to do a lot more for us here, just overall. And we might wheel Ulamog, although someone did take the the channel. So we know that, and the sneak attack. So that's actually very unlikely to wheel. But Cryptic Command or Lightning Bolt are really our two choices here. And I really don't want to be splashing for more red. We have no red fixing at the moment. Upheaval. That is a win condition. All right. That's what I was really hoping for. I would love to play this Trinket Mage. I don't think it will wheel, but if it does, I will be ecstatic. But Upheaval is a slam dunk for our deck. Now we have a way, once we've gotten infinite mana, to actually turn the game around. I think this is absolutely a deck for a Wrath. We really have no creatures unless we want to have all the creatures all at once, right? We're going to go from having basically no board to uh, warping in Pinnacle Emissary and then using Teferi and uh, Mox and just, making 3, 4, 5 1/1s out of nowhere and then having a relevant board state from that. 8 pick Mixkimbu, excuse me? I love greedy splashes for Mixkimbu, but that's a little too greedy for me. I'm going to take Cauldron Complete here. It's a decent thing to ramp out, and also we are on watch anyway for um, Stoneforge Mystic, because it can go get Skull Clamp already. Ugin is an amazing wheel. Oh, wait. Displacer Kitten for the infinite combo. This is tough. I want to do the combo, but Ugin's so much better. I did not expect Ugin to win. Displacer Kitten requires so many things on the board to actually combo, and also them not having instant speed removal. Ugin just can come down and kind of win the game, and I like cards that come down and kind of just win the game. Also using his 000 to then upheaval and having a bunch of extra mana to just barf out and be so far ahead for upheaval is very relevant. And the ultimate is also relevant for us. Search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards. You may cast them. We have Cauldron Complete, Karn. Like, those are really good targets for that. Weirdly, Mind Twist might actually be a decent pickup for us here. It's very splashable. We have an Underground Sea and a Zagoff Triome. And Mind Twisting is another good way to use a lot of excess mana. We already have 2 lands that work with Mind Twist. So if we get one fetch that can go get black and or black or blue and then maybe white, we are in business. I really hate mana confluence in decks like this, where you really don't need the colors very often because you have such good, you know, color distribution. Well, actually, we have a lot of double pip cards. Maybe there is a world where we play mana confluence. It also helps with the Mind Twist potentially. I would definitely play Mind honest. I'll take Theater, I guess. Best card out of the pack. I'm not gonna play it for sure. All right, we're shaping up to already have basically an entire deck. How is Ulamog wheeling? Um, yeah, Ulamog is not really for us. Yes, we have Mox Mox Soul Ring, but it's really hard to cast just normally. I'm gonna take what I just take instead. I'm gonna take Dam. We can just play it for double white to destroy all creatures. So it's the second Wrath for us. All right. More power? Is it possible? No, but this pack is crazy. Balance, when we have all these artifacts and planeswalkers, is really strong. But so is Swords and Force of Negation. I think those are really the only cards I'm considering. Polluted Delta's good, and I would like to be able to take it, but I think Balance gives us the best opportunities. We can have opening hands that have like land, Mox, Balance, Skull Clamp, and we just go like land, Mox, Skull Clamp, and then the following turn, land, Balance, and they discard their whole hand after playing a single land. Like that it just makes for really broken turns for us that just kind of win the game out of nothing. This is absolutely a mana drain deck over Dismember. I love Dismember. I really do. We're very far from brain freezing, I would say. But mana drain on turn two into some of our big things. Like we're on the draw. They play a 3-drop on turn three. We mana drain it on our turn two. We untap on turn three, play a land, and just drop frickin' a Karn and a 2-drop and just kind of win the game. Um, we also desperately need counter magic. Emrakul? Nope. This is Mox Opal for sure for us. I love a good Emrakul. And Wasteland, Copter, very relevant. I've not seen any of the lands, but that are good for us, but that's okay. Mox Opal's great. We have absolutely the artifact quantity to make Mox Opal a playable card in our deck. It also just works with Ugin, which is fun. I would not say this is a greedy Mox Opal deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're taking more artifacts as we see them. Misty Rainforest gets Triome and Underground Sea versus we could just take Jace the Mind Sculptor, Tishana's Tiebinder, or Oust. I'm going to take Misty Rainforest here. Oh, we could take Caprican here, actually. Hmm, that is a win condition for us. I'm going to take Misty, I think. We need a little bit of fixing. We're on lookout for a blue-white land already. Fallen Shinobi's pretty far for us. Stoneforge, I didn't even process it because of the art. Stoneforge for Cauldra and for Skullclamp, sign me up. Easiest Stoneforge of my life. Okay. Misty right now is just going and getting a blue, but we're desperately on look for a blue-white land. I haven't seen Tundra. I think I've seen Hollowed Fountain. I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely haven't seen Tundra. So that is the card I would like to see. That's the blue-white dual land, the original blue-white dual land. We're gonna have some serious cuts here. Lion Sash might need to just be in the sideboard to start. And maybe like one of the rafts is in the sideboard to start. Lauren revealed essentially a land. So if we say we're not playing black right off the bat, maybe it's something we sideboard in. We actually have a pretty complete deck already. Containment Priest is a pretty big anti-card, and there's nothing really for us here. We could take Treasure Cruise, but we're not going to be putting a lot of stuff in our graveyard, honestly. Containment Priest is the card I will put in the sideboard pretty happily and sideboard it in against the right decks. We might need to play Lion Sash just to have our artifact count be high enough, because we're just seeing no artifacts now, which is really weird after the start we had and the fact that we're clearly getting all the artifact cards. Phantasmal Image is not great for us. We don't have a lot of creatures. I kind of want to just take Thunder Trap Trainer. I could also take Multiversal Passage for better fixing. But Trainer so often is hitting Planeswalkers. It's just any non-creature spell. Yeah, hitting Planeswalkers in the late game and in the early game, it's hitting other things. Coveted Jewel is quite hard for us to defend. Take Fairy Mastermind. Just a good. And then there's the End Stone. I'll take Coveted Jewel. It might not make my deck, but it is good. Take Prismatic Ending for some removal. In our deck, it's always 2 color. We don't have a way to make a third. Oh, no, 3 off of Mox Opal potentially. And maybe we play Vizegoth Triumph. I'm not playing Boots or a Talisman here. Eagles goes and gets a basic plane, so we did not see any of the cards for us. The what are they called? The duels in our colors. It's a little bit of a shame. Am I playing an Emrakul? I feel like the answer is no. I mean, we just don't have good ways to use it. I think I'm actually going to play black is the answer here. We'll get to that in a moment. Jace the Mind Sculptor or Leyline Binding? I mean, if we're playing black, we're going to have the Triumph, but I think Jace is just better. Fallen Shinobi's pretty far from what we're doing, but my Stone Weak Stone's great. Interaction and card draw. I like it better than Coveted Jewel. It can't be stolen. Blue, red, green. It's pretty far from what we're doing. Okay. This is an interesting deck now. We started off with a lot of really good power, and then we just missed a couple of like the key cards for artifacts. Didn't see Urza, didn't see any of our duels. I think we gotta play black. Mind Twist adds so much to our deck. I'm pretty happy playing Dam just anyway, but it also gives us a couple extra colors and ways to use our deck that not playing black doesn't provide. I love that it wants me to play a mountain, but I'm very content just playing Pinnacle Emissary to warp it, and then eventually I'll have either Mox Opal or Mana Confluence. I think I have to play Mana Confluence here. Mox Opal, Mana Confluence. I have no other way to make another color, really? I have one more. I guess not. That's okay with me. Um, Cuts are really easy because Arena does not count your mana producing artifacts as a consideration in your lands. These 4 cards certainly add up to some number of lands. By my math, Mox Pearl and Mox Sapphire are easily a full land, and Mox Opal and Sol Ring probably add up to be a land. So I think we can really easily just cut 1 for each of the Moxes and then a second Plains here. Why am I running a Swamp? For my 1 Mind Twist, you want me to run a Swamp? No, you can't make me. Perfect. So that's our deck. It doesn't count these colors as, or these artifacts as ways to make mana. Um, it is a very high power deck. It's just going to require a little bit of sequencing for it to go right. But we have amazing sideboard options in Containment Priest to hate on kind of the cheaty strategies of getting creatures in unfairly. Jace for a more controlling matchup. Dam for more of a go wide matchup. A second board clear in the main board is, or in the sideboard, is always nice. And in a control matchup, Coveted Jewel is even an option as a card that we can bring in, as is Urtai. So really excited to try out this deck. If you've been enjoying this so far, I'd really appreciate if you liked, subscribed, did all the things. Let's jump right into the first game. All right, game 1. We're on the play. I'm a fan. We got Mox in our opening hand. I'm a fan. I think we're going to go Island Mox, hold up, Lorien revealed. They don't know that we don't have counter magic. And then turn 3, we can just slam it to Fairy. We can even just bounce our Mox and draw a card. Or we can bounce whatever it is they go get here. Tap the Mox. I'm going to go get Underground Sea. That way we just have the black for the Mind Twist eventually. But I'm just going to slam it to Fairy. See what's up. And in case they have removal, I'm just going to get my card out of Teferi immediately. Bounce my own Mox, draw a card, replay the Mox. and pass. Especially because if we get one more island, we're holding up Cryptic Command, and it can't be countered back because Teferi. And if they're doing creature things, that's fine too. Cryptic Command's good against that as well. Bounce a permanent and then counter something, or bounce a permanent and draw a card. Mox Ruby, very nice. All right, Mox on Mox Violence. Here we go. Cosmogrand Zenith. Problematic to say the least. Really would have benefited from drawing a singular island there, but that's okay. Lion Sash can block Teferi if I want to block Teferi. I might. We'll have to see. They might just kill the Lion Sash here and then attack Teferi anyway. Skyclave Apparition. Alright, let's see what they target. Teferi, Mox, Lion Sash. Targeting Lion Sash means that they get to kill Teferi too. Alright. In response to that, I will exile your land. I have nothing else to do with the mana. Might as well get rid of it. And Cosmogrand dies here, or Teferi dies here. Teferi or Big Teferi and shuffle away Skyclave and then make my 2/2 is an option. I can also Elsbeth tap down and get rid of. I have a lot of choices here. I could also just play Teferi and very boldly just uptick. But then if they play 2 spells, I'm in a lot of trouble, which I'm quite worried about. I could also play Elsbeth and uptick and make 2 1/1s and then deal with the Cosmogram problem next turn. A lot of choices. I think I am going to play Elspeth amongst the 2 Planeswalkers. And I think I'd rather get my value out of it here by destroying Skyclave, getting back a 2/2. So they need to have a pair of removal spells because I double the token generation. So they need 2 ways to kill things, which if they have 2 ways to kill things, they also get to make 2 1/1s. And so we're in a little bit of a pickle, I'd say. But okay, Frantic Search doesn't really change the math at all. They could have turned a red into one of their colors by using red here if they're, for example, just playing the Mox because it's a Mox and not because they're red. They did Prismatic Vista on turn 1, so it doesn't tell us they're not red, like that they needed to go get white based off their hand of Skyclave Apparition, Cosmogrand Zenith. Discard double blue card. All right. Starting to feel more and more like they are just blue-white with a Mox. This is the big advantage to have your Mox be the color of your actual deck. So both of our Moxen are blue and white. Let's see, what would we like to see here from our opponent? That's fine. We can double block Cove. 20 cards in library. That's going to be relevant at a certain point here. Oh, they can put Zenith in the air, so Elspeth does die. That is unfortunate, to say the least. Number Plains is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Okay, I'll play the Plains, play Teferi, and we're just going to shuffle Steel Seraph away here, and no attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason I shuffle Steel Seraph away is we're putting ourselves in a position where if we draw any land next turn, Ugin comes down and blows up a permanent immediately. And Steel Seraph's actually kind of problematic for our deck. We need to find a Wrath. Our Wrath. Oof. Gideon doesn't get haste, my friend. balance? Oh my. Please draw land. Upheaval. Upheaval? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't think I upheaval here. Hard reset. I have a mox and they have a mox. And then I'll have a balance. Oh, upheaval's very awkward here. I get to play land. I'll be a land ahead of them, but my hand is so bad. This is very awkward. I'm really not sure what the play is here. Teferi's going down no matter what. I think it's better to just save Teferi. I haven't played a land this turn. So yeah, we just upheaval. We just hard cast upheaval and they lose their Shelldock Isle forever. We play Underground Sea Mox Pearl and then discard down the hand size. Oh, if I balance, I lose my Underground Sea. That's annoying. But if I balance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they discard 2 cards versus we're at 8. So we're just gonna discard a planes. And turn. Yeah, I get to untap 2 lands and discard a planes. Okay. This isn't the most ideal, but we were losing on board pretty hard there. And so I think just hard resetting is better for us overall. It also gives us more turns to find an island for Cryptic. Jite. Interesting. Ooh, island for Cryptic. That's very nice, actually. Yeah, drawing Jite gave it so they didn't have to discard. But here they just play Cosmogrand Zenith. Mhm. And then now I'm holding up Cryptic Command to bounce, return target permanent, tap all creatures your opponents control. I think I'm going to counter and bounce Cosmogrand. Oh, if you're spending your whole turn doing this, I'm just going to bounce and draw a card. This is just puts them so far behind now. Because now Teferi comes down and just starts upticking. Replay Jite, or no, replay Shelldock, which we're getting close to them being able to use. They did permanently lose. Hmm. Don't we have a choice now? I'm actually kind of a fan of blowing up their Mox here. Try and go to, they'll be at 5 mana. No, I'm just going to play Teferi. Start drawing cards. We didn't draw, oh, well, that's a pretty decent draw. We untap like this. I still don't know why we're playing black, but I can prismatic ending off of black, white, blue now, and mana confluence. So we can actually prismatic ending frickin' Gideon if we need to. The other option is we're getting to a point where balancing is just quite favorable for us too. Because we'll have planeswalkers. Land go? What? I mean, I'm just gonna draw a card here. Tashana's Tidebinder, countering Teferi. Okay, counter this. Boop. I'm feeling pretty far ahead right now. Draw a card. They do get a Shelldock Isle. We couldn't stop that this turn because they're at 19. So whatever's under Shelldock Isle, they can cast for free, which is terrifying. But barring it being an upheaval of their own, which we now have double Monk, so upheaval of their own isn't even very good. Well, it is because they get to cast it for 2, so 1, 2, 3 plus a land drop of 4 mana immediately. That's also what we'll have. We'll have land Mox Mox, so we'll have 3, so we can pending. They did play the land first, so I doubt it's upheaval. Oh, Narset. It's a pretty good hit. They could have played Cosmogrand first here. Narset missed? Oh, brother. We're just going to cast Kaldra, use Ugin, blow up Narset off of it. This is looking pretty grim for them, I would say. And now we have Mana Drain up as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we do need to get colorless here. And then we're going to use the colorless to just cast Kaldra complete, exiling Narset. Cool. Uh, draw a card. Hangs Iceberg. Um, yeah, I'll mana drain that. I don't have much use for mana drain given I can see 4 of the 5 cards in their hand. Like, I'm not mana draining those cards, so I might as well mana drain that one. Okay, so they're on blue-white control as well. Skyclave, Subtlety, a little bit more board presency with a Jite and the like. They're not really cheating anything in outside of off of Shellduck Isle, so I'm not a big fan of Containment Priest for sure. JVP seems good. They do have Tidebinder, which is annoying for JVP, and they also have Narset, but it's just a very solid card, and I'm pretty happy to bring it in most of the time. And Urtai could be quite nice as a way to blow up some of their like more difficult to deal with permanents. Balance doesn't seem good. They have multiple, uh, they have a Mox as well, alongside a lot of artifacts and planeswalkers. Balance just is often going to be pretty difficult for us to use effectively, given that. And I'm going to take out Skull Clamp. Um, it's kind of a bad draw for us most of the time in this matchup. So that's our 2 cuts. All right, let's see if what we see changes that. But I feel pretty good about those adjustments. It's very rare that I cut a card like Balance, but I think against this deck it's quite right. I don't want to bring in a second Wrath, but I still think 1 Wrath is good. I'm just double checking. There's nothing else I'd rather cut. And nope, I feel pretty good here. Honestly, the best card in our deck is Mind Twist against them. Just, ramp and then pretty out of nowhere make them discard their whole hand. They did see we had a black source and that we never used the black source, so they may be concerned about that. Oh, this is cool. Turn 1 Soul Ring is generally what we want to be doing. We cannot Misty Rainforest for a white source, though, so that's a little bit problematic. Here's a Soul Ring. We know they have Subtlety, so we gotta be keeping that in mind. Oh, Underground Sea's a good draw generally. I'm going to use the colorless here, partially because it indicates that I might be trying to keep something up. Wan Shitong. Draws 0 cards, but 0 counters. But if I want to search, I have to let them draw a card and get a counter. Unfortunately, I think us getting Cauldron Complete is more important than them getting a card and a counter. So I accept. Quan Shi Tong also messes with my Misty Rainforest. That's pretty annoying. But they need to deal with Stoneforge. Okay, they deal with Stoneforge. Very fair. Island would be cool. Mox Opal. Interesting. Hmm. I feel as if we're gonna need to get this down. I'm almost certainly path to exiling Quan Shi Tong and then fetching for my Triome because it's a land I don't want to draw. This is where not having a Tundra is really bad. Alright, go get a land. Can't stop it. They could also Tidebinder my fetch, which would be wild, but fair. Oh, they do have mountains in the library now. It's possible they brought in like a braid and the like from their sideboard. A braid would be backbreaking here if they blow up my Soul Ring. Planisphere. It's a fun card. I'm a big fan of it. My turn. Alright, Triome. Here you go. Island is a not good draw. Next turn, we just get to hard cast Ugin. Never thought I'd be saying that on turn 5. Turn 5 is actually pretty fair. Yeah, we have not drawn the best this year. Oh, burn? Oh, for Visage of Disguise. That's terrifying, actually. There's a lot of pressure out of nowhere. Well, I'm casting Ugin. I am exiling. If I exile Skyclave, I get a 2/2 with which to block Planisphere. So that seems like the move of the moment. Also, Ugin is so much health and draws cards and gains life. So, ooh, Emissary next turn? Colorless spell, not artifact spell. But it does turn on Mox Opal, so it's free. So we play Island. We use Island to Pinnacle Emissary Warp. Oh, all face. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, we're gonna keep blocking this hero token. Uh, this is on cast. Interesting. We can Prismatic Ending it. This is whenever you cast an artifact spell. Okay. So we get back Ugin. That has to be first. Just making sure it's tapping right so that I can do all the things I want to do. Yes. And we need them to not have counter magic right here. They can sacrifice it in response to. Oh, it's Waterbend 3? Oh, they have an artifact. Yep. They can sacrifice it in response to Scry. We get Ugin back either way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can First Strike, Trample, Indestructible, Haste. Okay. So we warp Pinnacle Emissary, which turns on Mox Opal. Add 000 and cast Cauldron Complete. Make a 1/1 and exile the original copy of Sage of the Skies. No Vigilance, First Strike, Trample, Indestructible, Haste, so no attacks. Pinnacle Emissary warps away, but I now have the artifacts for Mox Opal. They need another way to deal with Ugin. Frantic Search is good. It's just a free draw here, assuming they had at least a land or two that they didn't want. Yep. And it's a free counter on plants. It's free two counters on Plant Sphere, right? Because they drew their third card. Get a little sketch. Move it over and then stock up so you get a counter on Sage of the Skies for the extra life. I guess you can't get through the germ because it has indestructible. So you need to be doing it in the air. I'm 100% chump blocking here. Keep myself healthy. We've seen Lightning Helix already. It's very possible they have like straight up Lightning Bolt, Fire Blast, stuff like that. All right, take your two. You can swing this at my face. I have to chump block with the drone. You should not be attacking with the hero token. Doesn't have trample though. And Elsbeth's about to go crazy. Oh, Wrath of God. I will gain 3 life and draw a card. Okay. I can just make an absurd amount of tokens here. I'm worried about subtlety is my issue. White, I have to use Mox Opal while I've got it to get double white here. But subtlety doesn't stop Wrath of God. Only force does. This looks like force, honestly. Could be days, and they're just considering if it's worth using the mana there. And then we've used all of our white, so I'm just holding up using Otawara. I'm going to keep back the blocker. They seem to have shenanigans, and they're at 30, so, chipping down for 5 when I'm at 10 doesn't seem as important. I feel like there's an argument you could just attack there, with an Ugin in play. That's actually the bigger priority, but I can also do funky stuff like Otawara my own Cauldron Complete to recast it. Okay, well, if you're going to do nothing, I'm going to keep gaining life, drawing cards. Okay, land is good, especially a white land, no less. I think I just play Elsbeth, and if they have subtlety here, I just put it on top. See what they want to do. This seems like subtlety to me. I'm not really afraid of subtlety anymore. With Ugin, Cauldron Complete, all these other things. I will put it on top. Thank you. Let's get cast Pinnacle Emissary. And I'm not really in fear of dying here at 13. Even with a Planisphere. They just are 2 mana type, right? It costs 2 mana to equip the Planisphere. They have 3 mana left over. Shelldock's scary. 19 cards, 20 cards. They get a free card. This cannot bounce a land. Makes sense. Cryptic Command can bounce a land. It bounces a permanent, right? Pretty sure it does. But also, we're going to ult Ugin here if we need to. Ugin ulting goes and gets a Mox, a Karn. I guess it's not as good. We already have Mightstone and Weakstone and Kaldra in play. Not really worried about Karuk. Plus, I can hit Ugin down here, but they're very quickly in danger. So I'm just going to untap and play an Elsbeth into Lingering Souls, it looks like, to me. Oh, Cryptic. Hmm, that's cute. But also, I think doing this plus Lingering Souls is just better. 4, and I'm just going to destroy Subtlety, and we're somehow holding up Otawara. 1 less cast for each legendary creature. Oh, it's my land for turn, potentially. No, I'd rather have Otawara as a spell. Yeah, you can scry to draw a card, but you need a board clear that also deals with Ugin and with Elspeth and the indestructible germ. Seems difficult. Balance is definitely a start if they have balance, because I lose my board. They discard 1 card, but I keep my planeswalkers, right? So also I have lethal on board. 8 plus 4 is 12, and then Elspeth puts a 1/1 counter on everything, so that's another 6. So I have 18 on board. Ooh, library, nice. So feeling pretty good here. And then we're going to be holding up Cryptic Command next turn. So yeah, like best case for them is they played balance into like a threatening creature that can kill Elspeth. They've got targets. Fractured, get your own Ugin. Well, I will be bouncing that. Into Pyrogoyf, blow up Elspeth. Nice. That's pretty cool. I can't even be mad. That is a effective use of your mana, my friend. 5, 8, 12. Whenever you cast a spell, make a 1/1 that can't block or be blocked. Okay. I'm going to return a permanent to its owner's hand and draw a card. We'll bounce Ugin and see what we draw here. Karn. I like it, but I also like just swinging here. They block Pinnacle Emissary, and then I might Stone Weakstone it. Doop. Go away, Pyrogoyf. You are absurd. And then next turn, we have Otawara to bounce a blocker. There's run out of blockers, right? We have 4 1/1 flyers in the air. They kill you pretty fast. And 4/3, Warband 20 take an extra turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're at Warband 10. And whenever they cast a spell, they make a 1/1. So that, very real. We're just gonna Otawara Avatar. Upheaval? Oh. Why did they tap? Oh, so that they can keep up exactly Shelldock. Okay. I guess that makes a lot of sense. But nothing has haste. So they can't use the Steel Seraph to gain life. So it doesn't really matter what they target. They are dead to Otawara unless their instant speed something saves them. Well, let's start with just channeling this because they're just dead on board. Not sure what their Shelldock Isle could be that gets them out of this. Because if it was like upheaval or whatever, what's even the point? Like you just upheaval right away. All right, we're Shelldocking something here. You get a free 1/1 for Tidebinder, counter Otawara. Well, that sure changes things. They take 3 in the air and lose something to Cauldra, and I lose a 1/1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is problematic. I think I just cast this normally so that I can Karn and Lingering Souls still. Oh. Hi, Teferi. Love you. Love that you're here. Go away. You are problematic as all heck. Into Mox so that I can cast Karn, make an absurdly sized Karn struck. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Karn struck. So they have to kill Karn, they have to kill Teferi, they have to kill everything. It's just too much. They lose the Tidebinder to chump blocking the Cauldra. Yeah. All right, on to round two. This is a keepable hand. Otawara Soul Ring into Lorien revealed. Oh, I actually see we can't get a planes. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. We could play Stoneforge on turn one. We still can if we draw planes here. All right, the game hates me. Otawara, Soul Ring, hold up, Lorien revealed. Black, I want to get Soul Ring out of my hand. Emperor of Bones immediately. I know what I'm bringing in. We actually have the Mind Twist, so we're gonna go get Underground Sea. Although Mind Twist against this is scary. Yeah, you can exile that. I don't care. Oh, White Source, I love you. Um, yeah, I didn't want to make them just discard 3 when they have an Emperor of Bones in play. I'm much bigger fan of just playing Stoneforge and going and getting Lion Sash here. I can't use the mana, unfortunately, but say Livy. And I can discard their whole hand next turn. That's pretty fun. Alright. You have a tutor for Emperor of Bones. We're also doing all this to get cards out of our deck that aren't planes, so that we can potentially draw planes. Take my Soul Ring? Yep. That makes a lot of sense to me. Uh-huh. Don't care about that. Cryptic's cute. I'm gonna play Underground Sea. Kinda want just Lingering Souls, but then they just exile the Lingering Souls away. We're just gonna use Stoneforge to get Lion Sash into play at instant speed. Probably on their end step unless they use Stoneforge to kill something. I thought I played my fetch. I didn't mean to play Underground Sea. Booster Tutor? Oh, gosh, I wish I could see what their hand is. I'm not actually sure, or not what their hand is. I wish I could see the pack they're looking at because I'm not sure if they're Reanimator or not. It's very relevant for me here to see if they don't choose like a reanimation target or a reanimator spell and instead just choose a efficient card like Palantir. Like if I had seen this pack and in that pack was, I don't know, uh, Arcana Cruelty, and they chose this over it, that's a huge piece of information. All right, sure. Play Palantir. Okay. Put equipment into play. Now I wish I went and got Cauldra. I don't know. We'll know more for pack 2. You can draw a card. We don't want them milling things potentially that help them out. Land here is quite nice. Hmm. What does it mean we do? We have no permanents in graveyards. I can make them discard 2 at random and then be holding up Lion Sash to exile at least one thing. Kind of like this play. See if we can hit a relevant target from them. Iron Shield Elf. Interesting. and then no attacks. And now we have a creature in their graveyard to Lion Sash away. I don't want to do it for 3, because if I hit a creature I can't deal with, I'd just lose. Yeah, I eat that. My Iron Shield Elf. Who do you think you are? I am. Then we're taking another 4 here. Yeah, your Emperor of Bones is probably worth more to you than my Lion Sash is to me. And then next turn, if they kill Lion Sash here, or do something like that, maybe I just Wrath of God. Yeah, I think I just Wrath of God now. One top, one bottom, draw a card. Alright, we're gonna play Misty Rainforest, and I'm gonna just Wrath. To me, it seems like they are absolutely not a Reanimator deck. They are a black-white tokens control deck that's just running Emperor of Bones. Completely shifted how I played it around them. That's annoying, but fair. Wow, they do have Persist. Okay. Replay Emperor of Bones to get Skyclave back? Sure. Oh, take my Stoneforge. Wild. Alright, well now we're holding up Cryptic Command, which I am a big fan of. Problem is these, passive effects are going to add up pretty quickly. We need to find some Planeswalkers. I'm going to keep letting them draw a card. Hey, there's a Planeswalker I'm very happy to see. We are just going to slam that and bounce their Emperor of Bones away. I will not attack. If they play a haste creature and kill Teferi, I'm very sad, so it kind of protects from that. Overlord's going to be a problem pretty soon. Alright, they better triumph it, sure. And then DT. Ruh-roh. Overlord next turn is a creature. Very scary. If we draw any untapped land, we can play Lingering Souls and be holding up Cryptic Command at least, but if Overlord gets an attack in, we lose. We've already spent our Wrath. Um, Best draws would be like untapped land into Ugin. We're gonna let them keep drawing. One top, one bottom. Opponent draws a card rather than us them milling for untapped land into Ugin incoming. I do not flash this back. We get in for our 1. Makes 2/2/1s, but they're not tapped and attacking. Yeah. Okay. Counter target spell. Now I can bounce the Overlord here, but they can recast it for full, which is pretty gross. So I think I draw a card. Sarah Paragon's pretty great. Ooh, Upheaval. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll have 2 mana up on them. They have no acceleration. Draw a card. They get Overlord and play untapped land into Ugin. Oh my goodness, what a pair of top decks. Get rid of Overlord. Tap Ugin up. Gain 3 and draw a card. Hit a Mox, because of course. Exile the other Overlord. Swing for 3. So now they need a hard removal spell. And even if they find it, now we're in an amazing position. They did DT, and it wasn't necessarily for Sarah Paragon. Although I will say Sarah Paragon here is pretty great. with a Skyglade Apparition in your graveyard. Honestly, though, it's not the most exciting. You can get back lands too, but maybe that's not what they tutored for. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could have tutored for like Elsbeth. Um, Bone Shards, discard Cauldron Complete. Discard any card, right? Wow. It chose to discard Cauldron Complete and then play Batter Skull. Alright, well, I got bad news for them. This game is pretty over with a upheaval in hand. So we hit them for 2. Yeah, I see the play. We don't want to give them the life, so we just attack with the flyers. Tap everybody. Make sure we're tapping for black. So we have 8 mana, haven't played a land. Bounce everybody, leaving up a black. Replay Mox Pearl and the land we haven't played yet. I guess we can get Zagoth Triumph down here. Actually, I'm going to want to potentially cycle Zagoth Triumph. I'll get down Underground Sea and then play the other half of our Lingering Souls. And then next turn, we can cycle Zagoth Triumph. They're just going to lose to frickin' Lingering Souls. We have to discard 4 cards, probably all lands. Land as a top deck's not ideal, but it's kind of irrelevant. We cycle Zagoth Triumph, and then we Otawara whatever they play, and then that's 2 turns, and then we play Elsbeth, right? Like, we're just so far ahead. Palantir doesn't matter anymore. Animate Dead on Sarah Paragon. Cute. All lands in that graveyard. Pass. I'm just Ottawaring the Sarah Paragon, though, so I don't really care. Another land is not a good draw. That's fine. Doesn't really matter that much. Verge is a duel. Put Sarah Paragon back in your hand. Important not to put Animate Dead back in the hand, otherwise they just reanimate it. Never 2. And then next turn, Elsbeth comes down. Blows up. If they play a creature with mana value 3 or greater, I can just blow it up. If they play Palantir, I just make 2 more 1/1s. You can have more cards. I don't really care. Cards are not what's the defining feature of this game. Make 2 1/1s, swing for 2, and then lethal next turn. Even if they kill 1/1, they have to kill 2 1/1s to not die to the 0. And Upheaval wins a game. But really, untapped land into exactly Overlord, or into Ugin was the winning play. Dam is absolutely coming in against this deck, as is. Read this for sure. Non-crucial error, and it wasn't cast. So Sarah Paragon does work because it casts from the graveyard. So, but they have Persist and Animate Dead. So I have to imagine Containment Priest is an easy add. What comes out is a good question. Upheaval's amazing against them. Lingering Souls is pretty good. Pinnacle Emissary is a little clunky against them, but decent still. Make some decisions here. Mind Twist is not ideal against them. That's for sure. I'll keep the black in case we want to be able to do damn things. What else is not very good against them? We need one more cut. Could be Pinnacle Emissary. A little awkward against them. Like, we just don't have time to get there with it, and I'd rather have other things. All right. This is a, in theory, good matchup for us. Blue-white control versus black-white reanimator tokens, right? Like, we have lots of ways to interact with their board, hand, and their graveyard. Um, and a lot of permanents that are particularly difficult for them to deal with. Planeswalkers with pretty, board presency, activate abilities, and the such. Oof. I don't think we can keep this hand. Remember, Misty can't go get white, and we have double white in Wrath, so this is a lot better. And we're putting back Cryptic, I assume. I think I just start on a Zagoth Triumph, not give them something to exile with Deathrite. And then turn 2, we just play Stoneforge. Turn 2, Booster Tutor. All right, could be anything. Really would love to be able to see what they take here, or what they don't take here. Like, there's a lot of worlds where we're doing this just for a land. Like, they kept double black and have no white source, and they're looking for any land that taps for white. Or maybe even just a third land at all. Even a colorless land would help them. And then Death Right for black and exiles an instant sorcery. Strip Mine for next turn. Problematic to say the least. Well, I'm getting Stoneforge out. Now I'm going to go get Cauldron Complete this time. It's my only option because I've drawn Lion Sash. Now, the question is, do they know that the right play is to strip mine my planes when they could instead strip mine my Triumph? Every logical thing says the Triumph is more problematic. But for us, that plane's actually a bigger deal because we took out the black cards. So it's really just blue. We have blue. All right. You're allowed to do that. I'm just going to flash in Containment Priest, and then next turn I'll Lorien Revealed and play another 2-drop if I don't draw a land. All right. Flashing Containment Priest, as promised. Hit a land? Sign me up. Not the land I wanted. I think I need to play Lion Sash here in case we need to be holding up white. And I'll Lorien Revealed to get my land for next turn, as opposed to playing a Skull Clamp. It's colorless, so I'm not as worried about it. Yeah, you can deal 2 to me. I don't really care about that. All right, they hit their white source. They had a white source anyway with a land and graveyard. All right, really just pass going, huh? Well, now that I have Lion Sash online, I'm feeling very safe. Warm and fuzzy, even. So I'll just get down Skull Clamp. Put on Containment Priest, because they have to eventually kill it. And I'm now holding up Lion Sash. See what they want to do here. I don't care about that. I'll take 2. Annoying, but not the end of the world. And assuming they do nothing, I am just going to exile the Overlord from their graveyard to be safe with the white. We saw no instant speedways for them to reanimate things. So they need to get through both of these, right? Like, they can't reanimate with a Containment Priest in play at all. And then Lion Sash prevents them from targeting the reanimate, because I just do this. They can do this with Deathrite Shaman to prevent me from getting the counter on it, I guess. I think I'll just play Karn here, as opposed to either Lingering Souls or Prismatic Ending it. I assume they're going to have a thing to blow it up with, but if not, Karn gets to run away with the game a little bit here. See what they want to do. They have 6 mana next turn, 7 if they keep a land in the graveyard for Death Right. All right, another 2. It's done a lot, but our board presence is much more impactful, and we have removal in hand. All right, they take the land now for a total of 7 mana for Cauldron Complete. For Damnation, wild. And then I draw 2 cards into Phyrexian Revoker, naming my Karn. Okay, so we just Prismatic Ending that. Make a token, play Mox Opal, play Lingering Souls. Oh, we drew the land. That just makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? X equals 1. Make a token, play Mox, play Lingering Skulls, and clamp a Lingering Souls immediately, paying a life for it. No Mox. Dam is actually castable now. I can always overload it in this deck. We're white. All right. Control did the thing. Damnation couldn't kill Karn, and then Karn just is too much of a problem for our opponent, and I can't blame them. Skull Clamp also drew 4 cards, so that's pretty decent. All right, we're 2-0. Feeling pretty good with this Esper. Well, really, it's blue-white control deck. See if we can 3-0 it. All right, round 3. We're starting on the play. Sign me up. This is a keepable hand. Turn 1 Mox, Lorien revealed. Go get Triome. Cast Thundercat Trainer. Wow, this is tough. I do think we have to keep this hand. It's just sketchy. Once again, really punished for not being able to go get a white source with this. Imagine if we could play Ocelot Pride right here, right? Go get Triome. It's a card I at least want to draw. Play it as my land for turn. We could always hit Mox Plains or Mox Pearl. Oh goodness, that is a turn 1 Lelia. Well, we have a prismatic ending for it at least. Um, please show me Mox Pearl. Is this 3 mana to fairy? It is. I think I have to take mana drain because if we have nothing, we needed them to lose some of these flips here. See what they hit. Burrow. I mean, an ideal world for life here, and we just top deck away a white source for prismatic ending on Lelia. Tireless Tracker into your land, but you lose Uro forever. Okay. Well, I think we lose here off of missing a land on 3 turns. And them having Mana Crypt Lelia. See what they hit here. Alright, well, it'll be really easy for us to sideboard against this. This is absurd. Crack 2 clues. And then just play the Delayed Halfling. I think we're super dead. I have no idea what we could. Yeah. Okay. Well, Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt is a card. Yeesh. I guess I want Damnation. I don't want Pinnacle Emissary, and I don't want Tainment Priest doesn't help me. Urtai can, but slow. No, Urtai's pretty good as a 1-for-1. Um, what comes out? What comes out? What comes out? Lion's Ash. Not really great. We don't need the graveyard hate, it looks like. Okay, well, red-green beats. I'm going to make assumptions that they have cards like Minkskin Boo and Fable the Mirror Breaker kind of a thing where we really just need to interact with them a lot. I'm on the play again. There's a much better hand, turn 1 Ocelot Pride, with eventually a Mox Opal potentially. I just need them to not start on turn 1 Lelia off a Mana Crypt. It's pretty hard to beat, just generally speaking. Turn 1 Lelia off a Mana Crypt. They're mulliganing hard. They know almost nothing about our deck. We played a Mox, Lorien revealed for a Triome, and then missed 2 land drops revealing Thundercrack Trainer and uh what's it called? Mana Drain. So they don't even know that we're white. We literally didn't even resolve a white permanent. Just getting down all the things. If they want to blow up Mox Opal, I love that for me. Salted. Okay. I'm gonna play planes, swing with Ocelot Pride, gain a life, make a 1/1 next turn, and then next turn we're playing Mightstone, Weakstone. Oh no, we're gonna be 1 off because Mox Opal doesn't tap yet. Alright. Badger Mole Cub. Immediately make Noble Hierarch tap for 2. Lightning Greaves protect the cub. Gross. Oh. Well, that's the best draw on my deck, right? It's pretty darn good. Play Islands. Play Soul Ring. Then I can Mightstone and Weakstone or Elsbeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll have 6 mana next turn if we Elsbeth. I'm just not very afraid of it because what we can do here, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can put Ocelot Pride in the air, and then it will make 2 1/1s on the ground. I like this a lot. We'll keep back one of the 2 flyers, and then we now have the City's Blessing, so we make 6 1/1s because Elsbeth double doubles. Okay. Really low to the ground deck. I wish I had a little bit more early interaction to sideboard in, but we got nothing. So this is the deck we're running with. All right. Ocelot Pride go crazy. But yeah, Mox Soul Ring. Double. They now have seen that we have double Mox Soul Ring, but they did not sideboard anything in as a result. Wrath. Wrath makes this hand keepable, I think. On the. Ah, yeah, I think we just have to play for the Wrath here and hope they don't have absolutely insane starts. Turn 1 Restless Vine sucks a great sign. No 1-drop creature and no Mana Crypt. Magda is fair, but a problem. We do have to hit a land at some point here to be able to play Wrath of God. We kept double white with Wrath of God up. Goliath Halfling, another Dork off of Magda. Cycle Generous End for your 3rd land. Sure, Taiga, very nice. We don't know what the blue is. It could be Time Walk or Ancestral, both absolutely worth playing in a deck like this. Into Keen-Eyed Curator. Imagine we draw a Mox right here. Oh, Mind Twist. That's actually totally worth. No hand 5U. Greaves Lelia, please and thank you. Keen-Eyed Curator, Sorcery, Creature, Artifact, Sharpshooter. I get a card? Please, any land. Any land and I win this game right here. We've not drawn a land all game. Yeah, baby. No land, no creatures for you. Oh, what a relief. Oh, into top deck loot? Or, all right, we now need any land again. Okay. Um, we have to make a token because otherwise we die to loot. Wow, what a top deck for them. They can go to combat. Oh, I can't use mana confluence anymore. Yeah, we lose to top deck loot. So they swing at my face and then 4 blocks. What? Why would you do this? This is so wrong. So this is a huge misplay from our opponent. Do we get saved by it? Is the question. Green Suns for Badger Molka? For Sylvan Safekeeper? I mean, it doesn't matter. We couldn't draw lands this whole game. Imagine we just curved out, like Might Stone, Weak Stone, blah, blah, blah. Sacrifice a land, target creature gains Shroud. Yeah, it doesn't really matter how we do this. We are dead to loot. Confirm 0, try to kill Sylvan Safekeeper. They sack a land to save it because then they can still save loot. But yeah, it was a good try. But yeah, our issue is we just didn't draw lands. Can't do much about it. Well, unfortunate that this deck, did so well. We grinded so hard, and then it kind of went out with a fizzle. But this is Vintage Cube, and our opponent had Mana Crypt that one game. It kind of just stole a game outright, and then this game we just needed to draw lands, and we couldn't do it. Or not lands, just any mana sources, right? Like Soul Ring, we have double Mox, so really solid deck. We definitely made the most out of our power. We lost exclusively to Mana Crypt in that first round of game 3. And yeah, this is a really solid deck. Unfortunate it wasn't a 3-0er, but I can see why. We definitely were a kind of late game strategy, and we only have 2 counter spells in the whole deck, Encrypted Command and Mana Drain, which are very committal. Also, probably the biggest factor for our deck is we did not see Tundra or Hollowed Fountain in this draft. Not being able to go and get off of Lorien Revealed or our fetch a white source of any kind was devastating in multiple games. So something to keep in mind, right? Like just even one land that could have been fetched for blue white would have changed this draft drastically, I feel like. But this is a fun one. I really love Vintage Cube. I love these powered cube formats. I feel like this version of the cube is much more balanced than the previous 2 versions. So kudos to Wizards for making those adjustments. And I really appreciate everyone that watched to this point in the video. If you did and you aren't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did subscribe because this is the kind of stuff we do on this channel. And obviously you liked it enough to watch it this far. And more important than any of that, though, I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks.